Good afternoon. Welcome to Lockdown Love 500 Styly. Today we are, in a few minutes, in fact, we're going to be bidding on a car. It's a Sport, Fiat 500 Sport. I'll quickly show you it. It's on in 7 minutes, so I'll quickly show you it. So here it is.
Sold on approval.
It's a 2013 500S.
New bidder.
So yeah, it's a 2013 and it's a Cat N. It's actually a stolen recovered. It says vandalism. There you go, vandalism. The only vandalism is the fact that it has been stolen and then they've done things to it and stolen things from it. So as you can see there, front end's gone, or front end as in front bumper, and the lights are gone. So here we go. So it's on 650 at the moment. It's the next car up. So let's see. I'm going to stop talking in a minute and then we'll just hover above the bid button and we shall bid on it any second. Well, not any second, but I've got it, as I say, I keep saying it, but here we go, we're on now. I think it's going to go for too much money. Oh, it's not. Oh no, it's after this one. Got a bit excited then. So this is at Rochford, which is in Essex, United Kingdom, obviously, which is yeah, not too far away from me. It's my second closest depot, because at the moment Copart won't allow you to collect cars. I have someone that collects cars for me, but at the moment they won't let you do that. They have to deliver, so I've got no idea what the delivery cost is going to be, so we'll have to wait and see for that. Right, here we go. Oh, here we go. 725, 750. Should we bid yet?
Pure sale.
Oh. Should we bid 800? Someone's outbid me already. How far do we go?
New bidder.
That's me. 950. Oh, 975. 1,000.
This is a hot lot.
Don't forget we have to put fees on top of this as well. It's me again. 1,200. One of the reasons for bidding on this is because I've got a front bumper in colour for this sport model. I won it. Excellent. 1,200 quid. So good morning and welcome back. I haven't got the car yet, but I just thought I'd take a little bit of time, as when I was bidding on the car I didn't really have the time to go through in any great detail because it was quite close to the time of the bid. As you saw, I won it. And I was just going to go through it a little bit more and tell you what I've done since. The car's coming on Tuesday. I had a call from Copart this morning. Due to COVID, you can't pick the cars up anymore. They have to deliver them. I think they still use third-party people to deliver them. But yeah, I mean you don't pay the £15 loading charge like you normally do. So that's something. But it hasn't actually cost me much more than I normally pay my usual bloke. So so that's quite good. So looking at the car now, excuse the reflection, I'm sitting in my conservatory. So obviously front bumper, I have already got a front bumper. I picked it up cheap in colour. I've had it for months, sitting in the back of the garage. So as you can see, yeah, bumper there. Now we've got something going on down here with the wires. I'll tell you what, I'm going to move because you can't see properly with that reflection, so I'm going to move into the living room. That's better. So if we look at this, let me just sit down and I'll put my iPad back down on my lap. Such a professional photographer. Okay, so if you look down here, you can see wires. On the end of there is a plug, which I'm assuming is the DRL plug or the headlight plug. In another picture I'll show you with the bonnet up, you can see the wires would have been pulled out. But you can see on the wing liner, whoever stole this car, this is a stolen recovered car, as I think you've already gathered. So they obviously, I imagine they stole it for parts. When they've taken the bumper off, they've obviously, rather than unscrewing that, which takes a minute or two, they've just ripped it clean off. So hopefully I've got a wing liner. So there's no actual panel damage to this car as far as I could see whatsoever. There's the back of it. It's got the black spoiler and the black roof. I don't know what that is up on the roof there. Is that looks like a petrol cap? Don't know, I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't know if it's got sunroof or not. I don't think it has. Looking at it, there's something going on with the door there. I don't know if that door's just not shut properly. That's what I'm hoping. I've literally only just noticed that. But it doesn't seem as if that's shut properly. Don't know. Anyway, maybe that's how they got into it. Maybe they have damaged the door. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully not. Otherwise that'd be another car I need to get a new door for. Actually, it might be just that line. If you see that line there, and maybe it's just the way the photo's taken. It's the edge of the window. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it isn't actually the door not closed properly. Anyway, we'll see when we get it. So we've got the black spoiler and black roof, which is quite rare. I think it looks quite nice on the white car. And we've got the black mirrors as well. And funnily enough, we've got black alloys. Now inside, what can we see inside? Bonus, 2 keys. Can't see, you often see handbooks in there. There's no handbook in there. Could be in the back of the seat, could be in the boot, may not be there at all. Again, we'll see. No airbags gone, no damage inside because it's not been crashed. Back looks all good. Right, under the bonnet, if you see down there, look, those wires are the headlight wires. And as you can see, they're just coming across the bulkhead. Now they should be going round and attached underneath at the edge of the wing. So again, whoever's pulled that bumper off has pulled it, or pulled the lights off, has just undone the bolts and just yanked it. They haven't bothered to take 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds to unclip it. They've just yanked it off, which I would have thought would have made it even more difficult. So the plugs may be gone, the plug may be broken. I think you can see a plug just there. That might be the one we can see in the other photograph, I'm not sure. Hopefully the wires aren't broken. So I'm hoping it's just a matter of rerunning it properly. That little piece there is, I think, is the clip where it clips into the side. So with a bit of luck, there's no damage to it as such. If I have to put on some new plugs, then so be it. It's not the end of the world. Speedo, nothing on it, because the car doesn't start. The reason, I think I've shown you most of these pictures before, but in less detail. This is the main part of it, really. So it's been hot wired. So without taking the bottom off of my steering wheel off of a current car, I believe that's one end, which I think goes, I'm not sure whether that's the clock spring or not, I'm not sure. And then it goes down, or this end goes to the clock spring. There were 3 plugs on the clock spring. One is about that sort of size, and then there's 2 which are about that sort of size, but I can't really tell from here, as I say, without referring to another one, a good one, I can't really tell. So this has obviously been, as I say, been hot wired. So I'm thinking, I've currently got for sale on eBay this cable, I think. I don't ever recall getting anything from the main loom, plugging into the main loom. Obviously, a plug normally goes into the ignition or the clock spring and then goes into the loom. So I may have to somehow, I don't know, I'm not really sure until I get it. So if the worst comes to the worst, I can get those wires all back connected and soldered and shrink wrapped. Ideally, if this is what I think, whereas that's a plug, I think that's maybe the plug that goes into the ignition switch, I hope. And then the other one, I'm not sure where it goes. Into the clock spring, possibly. Not sure. Till I get the car and get the steering wheel airbag off and all that gubbins off and have a good look. Not really sure. But obviously, as you can see, the ignition switch is gone. No ignition barrel. I'm hoping that the shear bolts are going to be on the floor or something. One good thing is that ring is still there. Most of these stolen recovered cars, you do find that still there. As you can see, there's an electrical connection to that. That ring has got the code reading chip, or rather, it connects to the body ECU, which reads the chip that's in your key. So if that was missing, you would have to replace that, the body computer, engine computer, and all the locks, as it stands at the moment, as far as I'm aware, which I've bought and waiting to arrive, is the ignition switch, you know, the actual plastic piece, the actual barrel itself, the door lock and the petrol cap. So I bought all those. They're on their way, hopefully. So I bought the lock, the barrel and the petrol cap and 2 keys separately. So what I will do is I will take the chip out of my key that comes with the car and swap it. That way that ring will read it. In theory, that's what should happen. I have done these, not to this extent before, but I have changed them before where they've been damaged, because occasionally when a knee airbag goes, it will damage the ignition. So I have changed the ignitions before. The actual switch itself, the black plastic piece, is held on with 2 shear bolts. I thought I had some shear bolts. I've looked through my buckets and buckets of bolts and bits and pieces from where I've broken cars up before, and I'm sure I've got some, but I can't find them at the moment. So I may have to just, unless those bolts are lying in the car somewhere, they could well be just lying in the footwell, or someone might have put them in the boot, which has happened before with bits I thought I've had to buy. Failing that, I may just, unless I can get some shear bolts the same from somewhere, I may just use ordinary nuts and bolts to do it. But we'll see. Again, that's something to figure out when we actually get the car. The bottom piece of the cowling, I think I've got a black one of those. Pretty sure I've got a black one of those, so I won't have to buy one of those. Just need to have a sort through parts and find out. So another view of the front there. So as you can see, again, there's a plug there. Not sure if the green plug is, that's the brown plug, isn't it? Not sure if that's the green plug there. It's difficult to tell. But again, you can see the wires there where they've all been pulled out. Other side looks okay. Oh, you can see definitely a whole lot of plugs missing that side. Definitely plugs missing that side. So I do tend to sell those when I break the cars up, so I may not actually have any. I might have to buy some. That's just the VIN number. So yeah, so there's not much more to show you there. As you can see, my winning bid was £1,200, including fees. It was 1,400 and something, and then I had to pay for the delivery. So we'll tot up the price at the end of it anyway, but the actual amount I paid in total was 1,530. So that's to the door, that's delivered, so it's not too bad. So yeah, so that's the car that's coming on Tuesday. Some good news as well. I had an email from Mr. Clutch, who I use for most of my mechanic work, that's not done by my mobile mechanic, and I would have used the mobile mechanic, but because of COVID, my wife didn't want him coming round and doing it on my drive, so I've booked the car in for Monday. Mr. Clutch are opening on Monday, so it's booked in at my local one for them to look at the clutch on the convertible. Slave cylinder probably needs changing, and the clutch. I've been quoted via email £301 for the clutch, and £65 I think it was to supply and fit the slave cylinder, which I thought was a pretty good price really. They're going to diagnose it first, not just going to sling a clutch in it. I think it is the clutch. It's slipping when you go in second gear up a hill, or pulling away up a hill. The pedal is really stiff, and all the biting point is all at the top of the pedal as well. So I'm pretty sure it is the clutch, as someone suggested, and I think they're absolutely right, that the slave cylinder is leaking. So I think they're going to probably change that as well. I haven't said to them to do anything with the master cylinder. If they come back and say to me master cylinder's had it as well, then I'll just get them to change that. Obviously it's spending more money on it, which will come out of profit at the end of the day, but so be it. So that's all for the time being. We'll come back, obviously we'll do some, once we get the C back, the convertible back, we'll do some more videos on that. I've got to go over that roof again because it's not come up particularly clean, so I need to do that again. And then once that's done, once the clutch and that's done, I think that's ready to go, that one then. And we're going to start this. I say this one's coming Tuesday, so we'll do a walk around of it on Tuesday, and see what else, if there's any surprises that we don't know about, which there often is. Yeah, and then there's still a few bits to do on the our bath. Seat covers off, as you know. Still got to get that sewn up. My sister-in-law was going to attempt it, but she said she can't do it, so I'm going to have another go by hand. Now it's off. Failing that, there is relatively locally a retrimming place, which I'm going to go and, when I take my car in, take the convertible in on Monday, I go past it, so I might stop, see if they're open, just get a price for them to do it. But I might have a go by hand myself, just in case I can do it. Now it's off, it will be easier because you can turn the cover inside out, so it might be easier doing it by hand. So yeah, so as I say, a few bits on the bath. I'm going to ring up the I made about 4 phone calls to the body shop, but the body shop up until a couple of days ago are not answering, so they're obviously off, closed because of COVID. But I'm going to try giving them a call probably Monday and see if they're back yet. They may reopen at some point, in which case I can get the bath booked in to have that dent done. So that's it for now. So we'll be back Tuesday evening, once we've done a walk around of this little beauty. So yeah, so see you then.